Alright guys, let's start the stream. Hopefully the sound is okay. Let's check it in a second. Probably it's fine. Today's a short update in the price of Bitcoin and what's happening in crypto space in general. So we'll take a look at the price. Yeah, the sound is fine. We'll take a look at the price and what to expect in the upcoming days. So generally, I would say that we flipped 180 degrees from the point of the very likely breakout of $20,000 zone to the new test of the previous support around $18.6 thousand, and that is a even more dangerous recently because again a lot of liquidity is below that zone. This is one thing. Second thing is one of the feature of the bear market is the fact that if we see the decline in price of the high risk assets in the certain class of assets like cryptocurrencies, for example, and we see the decline, all of them which are lower in the capitalization, higher risk comparing to the major one, the flagman, which is BTC, but BTC doesn't follow, that may mean one thing, that it will follow but just with some lag. And also we don't see anything on the space of equities, so S&P and like even pre-market is kind of okay now, so which means that, well, potentially it could mean that the storm is coming. And of course, as I pointed out many times, we could go below $18,000 just for a very short period of time and then come back, but that would mean actually a major crash for the altcoins, even more than they are crashed now, and that is just the beginning, right? So however, as soon as we are still here, still within this kind of a range, we didn't break it one way or another, we still have a fair chance to continue going within this range. Although again, some small things are like giving us a hint that okay, we broke this support line and we tested from the bottom, and we tested again, rejected both times, and we started to test the support area over and over again. And again, we see the weakness in the altcoins. We see all those patterns which we had so far, like this descending wedge is supposed to be a bullish pattern, right? But like this, and it's usually is breakout to the upside, but we don't see it. We see all the opposite thing everywhere. So this thing, in fact, we actually rejected from the support line, resistance line here, upper part of this pattern. So that's not a great news for the bulls, right? And it happens all over the place. So Cardano does the same thing. So many altcoins showing kind of similar patterns, breaking the key levels, key support lines. So I guess that within the maybe 24 hours, next 24 hours, we will see either the Bitcoin price following altcoins, or, and actually today there is supposed to be the CPI news from the United States, and maybe it is a positive news. So in that case, we'll see the rise in price of BTC, and of course altcoins may actually return back to where they were, so all the drop could be easily covered. But again, don't forget, this is market of the bears, so all the rises are much harder to expect or perform than all the drops. So that is the major idea for the current. Oh, one thing I forgot to point out, that if we look at the daily time frame though, and this is a kind of a I would say bullish, but giving you some kind of hope that on the oscillator sides we are almost at the very bottom, and especially for not the major but smaller alts like Cardano, for example, the same, those which were dropped the most, BNB and many others. They are very close to the like maximum oversold level. Okay, and finally, another thing is that for the BTC daily time frame, we are actually in a very narrow volatility range on a daily time frame. You see the Bollinger Bands are so narrow right here, the zone. And in fact, if you'll compare it with the previous price action for like next few years, you'll see that this narrow zone was only in 2020, like when it was still a bull market. And if we'll compare the what happened there, it's actually was this. It's actually was this when we had a very low volatility, and from there we see the major rise. So does it mean that we'll see a major rise anytime soon? No, I don't think so. But what I think is that we may see a major move, and it could be actually the opposite side. So it could be downside. So I don't want to say like anything like a panic panic word, but it is what it is. So the more often we test the bottom of the zone, the more likely it is broken. And again, we shall wait for the breakout. So we can easily, oh my god, we can easily do like this. So easy. For BTC, it's just like 10%. Come on. Bitcoin can do 50% in a day, right? So don't worry about this. It could be, but just maybe not now. However, as soon as we're within this range, or in fact, as soon as we are within this range, which is longer, like wider, we still are expecting much more massive breakout, one way or another. However, again, I think this time is approaching. Despite it's only 4 months after the yearly low 17k, 17.5k, still I think it's actually very close. So guys, that is pretty much it for this update. Thank you very much for watching. I see a like, I see some concurrent viewers. Appreciate that. And let's talk next week probably, or maybe this week later, maybe tomorrow. We'll see how the things go. If that is something interesting or important week, I can do the update, of course. But if not, let's meet each other next week. That is pretty much it. Have a good weekend and some profits with your trading. Goodbye.